All right, boys and girls, here we are again. Last week we started talking about the skill of throwing, and so today we're going to continue on with that with a little bit of a review. So remember we talked about the 5 steps of throwing last week, and those steps were ready position, side and step, ring ring, hello, it's for you, and we threw on that release. We also called it ready position, side and step, T position. We're going to bring our throwing hand back behind us, point our front hand towards our target. We go over the shoulder and throw. Remember, it goes over our shoulder, past our ear. And as we extend, we throw, and then we follow through and have your hand go straight towards your target. So those are the steps for how to properly throw. So make sure that while you're playing today that you are focusing on doing that correctly. Now, for today's activity, you can do this inside, you can do this outside, depends on the weather. It depends on the equipment that you have or the things that you might need to do this activity. Make it your own, be creative with this one, okay? So what you're gonna do is, if you're playing inside like I am, you can use a soft ball, or like what I'm using is just balled up socks again. Made it into a sock ball. Okay, you're gonna need a couple of different size targets. You can use toys, you can use pillows, whatever you really think that you need. You're gonna need something to mark distances on the floor. Because I'm a PE teacher, I have little spots, but you could put down like a towel or your jump rope or something like that to give you a good steady line. So what you're going to do is, for your first round, I want you to set up, see, I've got my 3 spots there across from my targets. So you need at least 3. You can do more if you want, but try to do at least 3. I've got them all set up at an equal distance. So if I were to come show you down the line here, they're all lined up the same distance away from my targets, which are over here. Okay? Now, I also have 3 different sized targets. So I've got my large target, which is this teddy bear. Then I've got a smaller, medium target, which is this little stuffed owl. And then my small target is a little R2-D2 toy. Okay, so what I want you to do is set up a target area with different sized targets, at least 3. You can do more if you want. And what you're going to do is, with 1 ball, okay, you can only use 1 ball for this, so you might have to do some running. You're going to set your targets up on something. I'm using the back of the couch. If you wanted to use, maybe your couch is up against the wall, so you could do the seat of the couch. If you're outside, maybe you do your front porch. Anything really, just be creative so that they're all equal. And then what you're going to do is, let me see if I can set up a spot where you can see everything. Okay. Close enough there. Let me try a little bit more. There we go. All right. So what you're going to do is time yourself to see how long it takes you to knock down all of your targets. So when you start your timer, say go. You're going to throw at your largest target. Once you knock down that, move on to your next largest target, so your medium-sized target. Once you knock that one down, move on to your smallest target. Because what happens, boys and girls, is as we progress and as we start to get better, we start aiming for a smaller target because that makes things more challenging, okay? So, first challenge is to throw, try and knock it down, then you got to run and grab your ball. You got to come back, move on to your second target if you knocked down your first. If you did not knock down your first, that's okay. Try again. Okay, I knocked mine down, I missed. I'd run and go get my ball. I come back, I try again, okay? And when I knock down that target, now I can move on to my small target, all right? So see how long that takes you. Play as many rounds of that as you'd like. Then what you can do is start to play with your distances, okay? Depending on where you had trouble, maybe you had more trouble with the smaller target because of how small it is. So what you can do for that is move your starting distance a little bit closer. And on the really large one that might not have taken you very long, move it back further away. Okay, and that's going to make that a little bit more challenging. And time yourself for that, see how long it takes. Do any variation that you want of that. You can move them all back together. You can move them all closer if you need to. You can use all the same size target if you're finding it harder to do a small target. Any variation of that. So what I want you to do is have fun with it. See if you can beat your time. Can I do it faster than what I've already done it? See if you can challenge somebody else in your family, a parent, a guardian, your learning coach. If you're at a daycare, maybe somebody else with your in your daycare, a brother, a sister, anybody. You can challenge them to see who can do it the fastest. If you don't want to do it as a race, you can try and see the challenge as being who can knock down the targets with the least amount of throws. Okay, so lots of different ways that you can do this game. But remember that our focus, the true purpose of this activity is to really focus on those 5 steps. Ready position, side and step, T position, over the shoulder, throw, and follow through. Okay? Make sure you're really focusing on that. All right, boys and girls, once you've played that for a while, I have another small activity for you to wrap up with. I hope that you all have a great time. Be safe, have fun, be careful, and I'll see you in a little while. Bye, boys and girls.